We have fasted from Eucharist now for over a year at St. Ambrose. If somebody had asked me in 2019 if an Episcopal church could ever manage to do without Holy Communion for that amount of time, I would have said no way. But we're a strong, determined bunch, and we want to do things authentically and in ways that are right and fair for everyone. And fasting from the Eucharist has allowed us to experience God in new ways, in the service of the Word, where Christ is also always present with us. I know that I am not alone, though, in longing to share the Eucharist again in community. A sacrament is an outward and visible sign of an inward and spiritual grace. The bread and wine, shared together in community, are the outward and visible signs of Christ's presence with us and in us. They're the sign that we are united as Christ's body in the world, that we're united with God and all those angels and archangels and all the company of heaven, all feasting together. But pondering how to share the Eucharist safely during this pandemic has definitely been tricky. If I had blessed each household's own bread and wine over Zoom, we would have missed the aspect of physical community that's essential to being the body of Christ. As Christians, we share one bread and one cup, not my whole wheat and your Chardonnay. Our bishops reflected on the option carefully and discerned that this virtual communion would change the meaning of the sacrament, perhaps forever, in unhelpful ways. On the other hand, if we had all sat at home on our computers and watched a couple of people sharing in the Eucharist at church, we would have become passive consumers rather than active participants, all equally sharing in the sacrament. When we watch actors feast together on a delicious meal on TV, it doesn't satisfy our hunger, it just intensifies it. Our sacrament needs to be a physical sign that we can touch, taste, and smell. That's why we have fasted. Now, however, we'll soon have the opportunity to gather again as a community, face to face, at least outdoors to start out with. It's time to experiment with ways in which we can once again join together in meaningful Eucharist. Our regathering plan has been accepted by the Bishop's Office, and I'd like to share you how Eucharist, according to that plan, will look going forward. The new practices aren't perfect, and they fall sometimes, into the traps that I just mentioned. We're going to have to adapt and experiment and rediscern as we go along. And I welcome your feedback as we try new things. Our new guidelines, though, will do two essential things. They'll keep everyone safe from the virus, and they'll follow the rubrics of the Book of Common Prayer, which is our theological and spiritual guide as an Episcopal community. Whether we're meeting outdoors or in the church, we'll need to maintain that 6-foot distance and mask wearing that we are all so used to now everywhere. We won't be able to approach the altar rail together as we used to and have the bread and wine placed in our hand, not the wine, but have the bread placed in our hands. And of course, we aren't able to share a common cup. Instead, the Altar Guild is going to put communion wafers in small wax paper bags and they're going to put them on a tray on the altar. During the Eucharistic prayer, I'll bless those wafers just as I bless the bread on the paten and the wine in the cup. I'll also add what's called a prayer of spiritual communion. This is a special prayer for those who either don't feel comfortable actually consuming the wafers because of the virus maybe, or for those who need to watch our service from home on the computer. In our prayer book, the rubrics assure us that those who are ill or who are otherwise unable to eat and drink the bread and wine all receive the grace and benefits of communion if they ask for that grace in prayer. So it's for special circumstances, like when you're not feeling well and need to stay away from others, or for our guests who might find us in an online recording when we're able to do that. So after this prayer, the usher will carry the tray of wafers to the exit point of the church building or of our assembly if we're outdoors. We'll thank God as we always do in the post-communion prayer, and we will have the benediction. And as the service ends, we'll pick up our wafer at the exit and consume it as we leave the assembly. Again, this isn't ideal, but for now, it's the safest option, and it's what we've been approved to do. As soon as it is safe to have indoor services, or it's warm enough to gather outdoors, we plan to celebrate the Eucharist this way twice each month. Once at 8 a.m. on one Sunday, and on another Sunday at 10:30. And during the whole time, we'll continue with our morning prayer online on Zoom at 9:30, like we always have. I'd also like to add an outdoor family service geared to families with children and youth, also once each month, perhaps in the early afternoon on Sunday. And so we'll might be experimenting with that as we go forward. And of course, anybody would be welcome to attend any service at any of those times. When we're indoors with our services, I'm hoping that we will learn to live stream them on YouTube, just like I'm speaking to you now on YouTube, and that we'll figure out the technology to be able to do that. Now, people have told me that March and April are the snowiest months in Colorado, and given the snow that we had last weekend, I'll have to agree with them. So until COVID numbers are good and it warms up outside without so much chance of snow, we're going to try out the option of wafers to go. So what's going to happen is there I will bless those wafers at a Thursday Eucharist at 1 p.m. And the bags of blessed wafers will be hung up on the clothesline outside the office over by the door. And you'll be able to stop by the church and pick up your wafers between Thursday and Sunday. Or if you need help, if you need somebody to bring the wafers to you, you just let us know in the church office and we can do that. So once you get your wafers, you'll keep them in a safe place until Sunday. And on Sunday at our Zoom service, we will celebrate the Eucharist and you will be able to share those wafers at your home on Zoom. So we won't be physically present with one another for this kind of communion, but at least we will be sharing one bread that has been blessed together at St. Ambrose. And this is how we're going to break our Eucharistic fast on Easter Sunday. So I sure hope that everybody can come get your wafer during Holy Week and after Maundy Thursday, between Maundy Thursday and Easter, and join in Eucharist all together on Zoom for Easter Sunday. As we go forward, let me know if you have any questions or any ideas especially after we've experienced any of these ways of celebrating the Eucharist. It will be good to know where you're finding God in that service or in that practice with the Eucharist. Before we gather in person for a Sunday Eucharist, I will do another video, part 2 of the series, on exactly what to expect. We talked about Eucharist this time, but there are other things with how the rest of the service will work. So we'll do another video for that very soon. Hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye.